Ladies and gentlemen, friends, today I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and a soul that has known both darkness and light. Life, in all its unpredictability, has a way of testing us, of pushing us to the edge, but it also has a way of showing us the strength we never knew we had. There was a time when I thought that life had dealt me the hardest of hands. A time when I believed that my dreams had been shattered beyond repair. But what I have come to learn and what I want to share with all of you today is this: challenges are not the end of the road. They are merely the beginning of our new journey, a journey where we discover the depths of our resilience, courage, and willpower. When life presents its toughest challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to think that the storm will never end. But let me tell you this: the storm will pass, and you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than ever before. In those moments of darkness, when it feels like all hope is lost, remember that the light within you is brighter than any external circumstance. You have the power to rewrite your story. You are the author of your life, and no one can take that away from you. I stand here today not as a symbol of victimhood, but as a testament to the power of perseverance. My journey has been filled with obstacles, but each challenge has shaped me into the person I am today. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about how we respond to it. It's about embracing the pain, learning from it, and using it as fuel to rise higher. The greatest challenges of life often bring us face to face with our true selves. They force us to confront our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. But in doing so, they also open the door to unimaginable strength, to the realization that we are far more capable than we think. I want you to understand that no matter what you face, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, there is always a way to rise above. Sometimes the path to healing begins with a single step of self-belief, with saying to yourself, I am not defeated. I will not give up. And once you take that step, the rest of the journey becomes a little bit easier. Remember, every scar tells a story of survival, of strength. They are reminders of the battles you've fought and won, of the obstacles you've overcome. Embrace them, wear them with pride. My message to you is simple: never let life's challenges define you, let them refine you. Each difficulty is a chance to grow, to transform, and to become the person you are meant to be. Your true power lies not in avoiding hardship, but in rising above it and in helping others do the same. Thank you. This speech reflects the spirit of this power to control our own narrative means that we are not bound by our circumstances. Too often, we allow external factors, our past experiences, our current situation, or the opinions of others to determine who we are and what we are capable of. But the truth is, none of these things have the final say in our lives. We are not defined by a bad decision, a moment of weakness, or a setback. These are simply chapters in the story, not the story itself. A person who experiences failure is not a failure. A person who struggles is not weak. These are just moments, and moments do not define a lifetime. This concept of authorship also gives us the freedom to imagine new possibilities for ourselves. If we view our lives as a story we are writing, it opens up endless opportunities for growth and reinvention. The possibilities are as vast as the imagination allows. Every new day is a blank page waiting for us to fill it with experiences, lessons, and choices that reflect the person we want to become. This creative process allows us to approach life with excitement and possibility, even when things are tough. It means that even in the face of adversity, we are not helpless. We are not passive characters waiting for someone else to change our fate. We can take action, we can make decisions, and we can rewrite our path. The idea of being the author of our own story also empowers us to take responsibility for our lives. While it's easy to blame external circumstances, others, or even fate for the challenges we face, the reality is that we have the power to change how we respond to those challenges. We are the ones who choose how we react to adversity, how we view setbacks, and how we learn from mistakes. Even when faced with obstacles that seem beyond our control, we have the ability to control our perspective, our effort, and our determination. When we take full ownership of our narrative, we stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance. Instead, we recognize that every obstacle is an opportunity to demonstrate our strength and resilience, to add depth to the story we are writing. This authorship also means that we have the power to craft a story of hope, growth, and transformation. Life is not about staying stuck in the same place, repeating the same mistakes, or letting our past define us. It's about constantly evolving, learning from every chapter, and moving forward with the knowledge that we have the ability to change and improve. When we approach life with the mindset that we are the authors, we begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Each hardship, each setback becomes a plot twist in the story, a chance to pivot and rewrite the next chapter with newfound strength. Moreover, being the author of our own story also gives us the freedom to define success on our own terms. We don't need to measure our worth by society's standards or by comparing ourselves to others. Our story is unique to us, and the goals we set, the milestones we achieve, and the path we take are entirely in our hands. Success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's about creating a narrative that is meaningful to us, one that aligns with our values and passions. When we stop allowing others to dictate the course of our lives, we free ourselves from the confines of societal expectations and embrace the beauty of creating our own journey. The truth is, you are the only person who truly knows your story, your dreams, and your potential. No one else can write it for you. Others may try to influence it, but ultimately, the pen is in your hands. You have the power to turn the page, to begin a new chapter, or even to rewrite the parts that no longer serve you. Pain is a teacher. It helps us grow stronger and more resilient. This concept is difficult to embrace, especially when we are in the midst of suffering. The natural human instinct is to avoid pain, to run from it, or to numb it. We don't want to face hardship. We want comfort, security, and ease. However, pain in its various forms is an inevitable part of life. Whether it comes from the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, a health issue, failure, or disappointment, we all experience it at some point. Yet, when we shift our perspective and begin to see pain not as an enemy, but as a guide, we realize that it has much to teach us. Pain forces us to confront our vulnerabilities. It strips away the facade we put up to protect ourselves, exposing raw emotions and thoughts that we often try to avoid. In these moments, we may feel as though we are at our weakest, unable to move forward or to heal. But what we fail to see in these dark times is that pain is a sign of weakness. It is a sign of being alive. Pain reminds us that we are human, that we have the capacity to feel deeply, to care deeply. Without pain, we would never truly appreciate the joy, the peace, or the moments of calm. It is through pain that we learn to treasure those fleeting moments of happiness. For they come after the storm and feel all the more precious because we've known struggle. When we allow ourselves to experience pain rather than avoid it, we give ourselves the opportunity to learn from it. Pain can teach us about our strengths, about our limits, and about our capacity for growth. Often, when we are faced with challenges, we feel as though we are being broken down, but what we fail to realize is that we are actually being built up. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance and struggle, so too do we grow stronger through emotional, mental, and physical pain. It is in the moments when we are pushed to our limits that we discover what we are truly capable of. Pain also teaches us resilience. It shows us that we are capable of enduring far more than we initially believe. In those moments of suffering, we may think that we can't go on, that we will never recover, that we are forever marked by the scars of our experiences. But as time passes and we begin to heal, we realize that we are not defined by our pain. Instead, it has shaped us into more resilient, more compassionate individuals. The scars we carry are not weaknesses. They are reminders of the battles we have fought and survived. They are proof that we endured, that we persevered, and that we have come out the other side stronger than we were before. Furthermore, pain teaches us empathy. It helps us understand the struggles of others and allows us to connect with them on a deeper level. When we experience pain, we gain a new perspective, one that is not defined by judgment or superficiality, but by understanding. We begin to see the world through the eyes of those who have also suffered, and in doing so, we cultivate compassion. This empathy strengthens our relationships and helps us become better versions of ourselves. Through pain, we develop a sense of shared humanity, realizing that we are not alone in our suffering. One of the most important lessons that pain offers is the power of healing. While pain can feel overwhelming and all-consuming, it is important to remember that it is not permanent. Healing is a process, and like any process, it takes time. Just as a wound heals over time, so too does emotional and mental pain. It may not happen quickly, and there may be setbacks along the way, but with patience, self-care, and support, healing is possible. Pain teaches us the importance of taking care of ourselves, of nurturing our minds and bodies, and of allowing ourselves to heal at our own pace. Pain also teaches us the value of resilience. It shows us that even in the most difficult moments, we can rise again. We may fall, we may stumble, but we can always get back up. It reminds us that life is not about avoiding pain. It is about learning how to navigate it, how to find meaning in it, and how to grow from it. Resilience is not about never feeling pain. It's about facing it, accepting it, and moving forward despite it. Lastly, pain teaches us that we have a choice. We can choose how we respond to the suffering we face. We can choose to let it define us in negative ways, to let it consume us and drag us down, or we can choose to rise above it, to use it as a catalyst for change and to allow it to shape us into the person we are meant to become. Pain does not have the final say, we do. We have the power to choose how we move through life, and we have the power to turn our pain into strength, into resilience, and into a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In conclusion, pain is not something to be feared, avoided, or ignored. It is a teacher, a guide, and a tool for growth. It helps us become stronger, more resilient, and more empathetic individuals. It allows us to find meaning in our suffering and to emerge from it more capable and more whole than before. By embracing pain, we embrace the opportunity to grow, to heal, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Every scar tells a story of survival and strength. Scars are often seen as marks of something that has gone wrong, something that signals damage or imperfection. In many ways, scars are the visible remnants of painful experiences, be it physical, emotional, or mental. However, if we change our perspective, we begin to understand that scars are not symbols of defeat, they are symbols of survival, of overcoming challenges, and of strength. Every scar represents a battle fought, a hurdle cleared, or a moment of suffering that was endured and ultimately transcended. They are a testimony to our ability to heal, to rise again, and to continue moving forward. Physical scars, though often the most visible, are just one type of mark that can tell a story. They remind us of accidents, surgeries, or injuries, but what they don't show is the healing that took place beneath the surface. They don't show the strength it took to endure the pain, to accept the vulnerability of being hurt, and to embrace the process of recovery. A scar on the skin does not define the person, it merely reflects the story of how that person overcame a moment of adversity. Each scar is a reminder that we made it through a difficult chapter, that we survived, and that we came out stronger on the other side. Emotional scars, though invisible to the eye, can often be more painful and harder to heal. These scars come from heartbreak, loss, betrayal, or any experience that leaves a deep, lasting impression on our hearts. The pain may not always be apparent to others, and the healing process can be long and complex. But emotional scars, too, tell a powerful story of survival. These marks are not signs of weakness, rather, they signify the depth of our emotional capacity, our ability to love and to feel even when that love brings us pain. The emotional scars we carry can also be a testament to the strength we have to continue opening ourselves to others, to love again, and to grow from our past experiences. Mental scars, too, are a significant part of our personal narrative. These scars may be the result of struggles with mental health, the weight of anxiety, depression, or the long-term effects of trauma. These scars are often overlooked or misunderstood, as mental struggles are not always visible, but just like physical and emotional scars, mental scars reflect our ability to endure, to cope, and to find resilience even when our minds are burdened. The process of healing from mental pain is not always linear, and it requires incredible strength and courage to face the thoughts and emotions that can sometimes feel overwhelming. However, mental scars, too, remind us of our survival and growth. They reflect the capacity to rise above challenges, to take control of our mental well-being, and to rebuild our lives after periods of darkness. What makes scars so powerful is that they are not just reminders of the past. They are also symbols of transformation. When we experience pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, it often feels as though the pain will define us forever. But over time, the pain fades and we begin to heal. The scar that forms in its place is a mark of that healing process. It shows us that while the wound may have been deep, it was not permanent. It was not enough to break us. In fact, we are now stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of it. We have learned something about ourselves, about our capacity to heal, and about the ways in which we can navigate future challenges with greater strength.